Hello, and welcome to this second game of a back-to-back doubleheader that we've got for you tonight on Speed Gaming of A Link to the Past Randomizer League. This is week 3, which is casual boots. We've got apathyduck of Wu-Tang Clan versus DukeFireBird of the Immortals. Julo Ninja taking game 1 of this doubleheader between these two teams. And I'm joined by Leoria. How's it going, Leoria?
I'm pretty swell. After, getting to watch the last race, I'm really hyped to be calming this one with you. So I'm hoping for another, relatively close race. Hopefully with less, less shenanigans, but maybe more shenanigans of different varieties.
Yeah, as we get underway, this is casual boots. So what you're going to see is the runners are going to start off with both the boots and the fighter sword. It'll be a normal opening as we get a mirror right off the bat, which will speed this up even more. I know we like to go fast in these games, and a mirror just helps with that. So you're going to see the runners have the boots. It's going to be a normal Zelda Link to the Past opening. And after we get through this escape sequence, we'll see what items we get, and we'll see how these runners kind of traverse this world.
Yeah, that early mirror really is going to be wonderful because as soon as you pick up Zelda, you can just mirror right back to the front and then go straight into escape. You don't have to climb your way back out. It really makes this even faster considering that, a casual boots escape can be as low as, about 5 minutes, 15 seconds. When you add a mirror into a mix, you could hit sub 5 super easy.
Yeah, and that mirror not only opens that, but as soon as the runners get Dark World access, it opens up all of those checks. You've got Cave 45 and Graveyard Ledge and things like that we'll see down the road. It does make it to where you can full clear the game a little bit more efficiently, but also provides the option to make a couple of gambles. Maybe you skip a mirror check here or there. So, obviously just a minute in here, but we'll have to see kind of how the runners approach having this early mirror and what advantages they do get out of it.
Yeah, and considering that the mirror in the last seed between these two teams was kind of in a rather late place, being Pengator Room of Ice Palace and Solski of the Wu-Tang Clan not even being able to get it, ending up skipping it, getting to go mode ice, it almost feels like a little bit of an homage to that, hey, let's get a real nice early mirror.
But unfortunately, apathyduck taking... it's not the worst thing in the world that can happen, but it feels so slow to watch your camera slowly scroll back up to the top left of that room like that. So following up a first bonk with a fall. Again, you do have that mirror, so we're still going to see really fast escapes. So far, DukeFireBird, tiny lead, but tiny leads disappear and reappear quite often in this game.
For certain. So far, not really a whole lot of... items other than that mirror, just picking up some rupees along the way. We'll see if Zelda has anything hiding down here in her cell.
As you see DukeFireBird doing a very nice job of getting the 8 slashes there on that ball and chain guard. It takes 8 slashes with a fighter sword. A lot of people grab the pot and then do 4 slashes. That loses a little bit of time. It's a little bit safer, I would say, but both runners getting through that just fine, as we do find the map in the basement, and Apathy takes a save and quit.
I'm intrigued by that because he's just going to start right there. Yeah, well, it was a choice. I think maybe, I'm not really sure what the decision was there.
One of those muscle memory things of you have a game plan to use the mirror, and then your muscle memory just takes over, and when you're done with whatever your current path is, you save and quit, a lot of times in this game. So just a little bit of a hiccup there of maybe some of the nerves being on restream, knowing that he's game 2 of this match here, and trying to get that win for Wu-Tang Clan this week.
Yeah, and I'm certain apathyduck is feeling a little bit of pressure knowing that, they're 0-1 in this series right now, wanting to try and get a victory this week, so at least it ends evenly.
fun little thing to talk about here. We've seen Duke do it a couple times. We'll see if apathyduck does it as well. There is a neat thing you can do in this game called key dashing, which is where if you line yourself up on a certain pixel of the game and then dash towards a key door, you'll just dash through the door instead of bonking off of it. You know, you bonk off it most of the time, but there is a certain setup you can do that doesn't really save that much time, but feels really nice and looks really cool.
Yeah, key dashes are fun, and they do, you know, save frames in the long run. So it's something where, like, you know, one isn't going to make like a huge difference, but if you can kind of consistently get a bunch of different key dashes, you'll save time overall in your run.
All right, we get about a 430 for DukeFireBird for leaving escape, about a 442 it looks like for apathyduck. Yeah, again, we talked about with that mirror, this is going to start to go really, really quick here. You can get the bonk rocks here. Do you think we see our runners check Lumberjack Cave?
You know, I'm not 100% certain if they do. You do have, you know, 2 out of the 4 pieces you require for Aga anyway. So, you know, checking it doesn't seem like too terrible of a thing. But I can also say, you know, see waiting, you know, we'll just wait. And if we have to do Aga, we have to do Aga.
Yeah, so we see DukeFireBird opts to not go north, while apathyduck is going to go north. So this is our first split of routing. Apathy is going to get that information on not only Lumberjack Ledge here, but a quicker, easier way to check these bush crabs if apathyduck so chooses. As we find a flute in Mushroom Spot, that's a nice item to find early.
Yeah, between mirror and flute, this is looking like a very, very nice set of free routing and a hook shot. So that mirror is looking, or I'm sorry, that mountain is looking really quite juicy. You know, having mitts would be great, but
yeah, the Tower of Hera called. You know, you've got
no kidding.
Mountain access, you've got that hook shot, you've got the flute, you've got, you know, things going on. You're a mirror, you've got the mirror, so you can just do Tower of Hera. I don't think we've seen a map check from either of our runners yet, so we don't know if that's a crystal or not, but that's kind of where it looks like the seed might be pointing us. No fire source yet for the basement of Hera. Might be looking for that. Obviously, I don't think anyone's gonna not finish Kakariko here. You still have to activate that flute and move on with it, but I would not be surprised to see an early mountain check from this seed.
Yeah, and as apathyduck does give us that, you know, a weighted map check and finding that there's just all blue crystals in the light world. So all of our fun, you know, dungeon prizes are in the dark world today. So with Hera being a crystal and getting a lamp, so we have a fire source now too, you know, it's looking real nice.
I don't think either of our runners will want to do the basement of Hera if they can avoid it, but definitely starting to look like that could be a call to make for this. You know, your flute does get you around the world easier, but it does unlock that Death Mountain access that you need, either a flute or the glove and the lamp for the logic to really put you there. So it does seem to be that there's something up there on the mountain that we need to go find.
You know, and something we kind of missed the first time through, there was a bottle in Blind Set as well. So not only are we getting to activate the flute here first time in Kakariko, but we're getting to deal with Sick Kid 2. We're essentially getting to take care of just about every, you know, early Kakariko check, as the bottle vendor gives us a nice cane.
Yeah, being joined by one of the runners from the last match in chat, Julo Ninja, does bring up a very valid point. I'm a big fan of bonking in this game. It is a sign of not knowing how to stop your dash, so I do it a lot. But yeah, you know, a bonk loses you some time. You want to minimize those bonks as you're dashing around with boots. Boots are definitely faster, but if you run into a wall, if you run into a door and you don't key dash the right way, as we find the Cane of Samaria as well on Bottle Vendor, you can bonk and lose some time. So you want to minimize those bonks, but every now and then you throw one in there for fun.
I mean, bonks are just, you know, a fun little thing. And, you know, I know that being able to say the higher bonk count or lower bonk count, depending on which way you want to do this, it's just fun little competitive shenanigans. It's fun.
Yeah, so I do want to ask you, Leo, with all of the light world being blue crystals, that adds, interesting dynamics to the Dark World. We're going to see 3 pendants in the Dark World. We're going to see our 5/6s in the Dark World. To me, I like it that way because I think there's more Dark World dungeons that you would like to avoid than there is Light World. But at the same time, that also means the pendants that you might have to dive are not the fun ones to dive.
No, that's true. It's, obviously I'm hoping for a real nice pendant pod because, that's just the thing. But you're absolutely right. Like you're getting everything in the Dark World. You hope that there's going to be plenty of Dark World dungeons that you can skip, but it's also just, it's going to depend on where they are, what number of checks they have, and what the items are telling our runners to go to. As of right now, our runners are really being told, hey, go to the mountain. But I do not blame Duke for going ahead and getting these South Shore checks done too, especially since, you have the boots, you can water walk over to the water checks.
Yeah, we'll have to see how far Duke takes this. Does do a couple of neat little tricks there. If you spam the mirror while you're moving a block, it will delete the block. So we saw Duke do that as well. And there's also a way that you could set up where you dash as you pull that lever inside the dam. Unfortunately, dam not really getting us anything. I would not be surprised to see Duke go into Mini Moldorm here and then maybe put off Ice Rod Cave or not do the Zora checks at this exact time because you don't have that 500 rupees to get to Zora, as we do see apathyduck making that quick call to go up the mountain.
Yeah, I like getting to see divergence too, getting our runners having a standard opening as Casual Boots does. You're going to have the standard, hey, we're going here. We had the tiny divergence of apathyduck checking Lumberjack. But this is like the first real divergence we've actually gotten. And I really like apathyduck's play here, with everything screaming at you, go to the mountain. It just feels like the right call.
It does look like Duke is going to finish up. Did get $300 or rupees in that Mini Moldorm cave, so definitely really close now to that Zora money that you need. You need 500 rupees for the scam fish to typically give you 10 arrows, piece of heart, but every now and then he's got a secret, as we see flippers on Spec Rock.
So if Duke does opt to go ahead and do some of these water checks now, that's going to potentially be even better for him, unless the flippers are only really for Ice Palace or Swamp. As we get our Dark World map check, and we've got green pendant Turtle Rock, regular pendant Ice and Mire, and our 5/6s are Thieves Town and Skull Woods.
That immediately, in my mind, makes me start to question, why did we get that Cane of Samaria?
Right?
Got a Cane of Samaria super early, and all 3 dungeons that it's needed for are pendants.
Pedestal? Not only that, but we literally only need the mitts currently. With our current knowledge, we only need the mitts to get into GT. None of the mitts dungeons are crystals.
But we would need a couple things. We'd need Fire Rod still to beat Skull Woods.
Yeah, of course. I'm just thinking, we don't. If it was somehow possible to get into GT without the mitts, we wouldn't, be needing to get them for any dungeons, unless, of course, there's some shenanigans inside a pendant dungeon there.
So it's looking like apathyduck didn't mirror and get the flippers. Oh no, maybe he did.
I'm not certain. It could have been just the actual tracker program lagging or whatever. Either way, well, if he skipped the flippers, then he skipped the flippers, and hopefully he'll get them after.
All right, as we see Trolldorm.
So we were asked a question in chat about how routing may have changed from a couple years ago and any new glitches that have been found. I know that I have not been running a super, super long time myself, but one of the glitches that is relatively new, you saw apathyduck do just a little bit ago, that was the Harapot glitch. He opted to do the hook speed version of it, where You gain hook speed by using the hook shot and dashing at the same time on the stairs, and then basically clipping yourself into the corner of that pot and hook shotting into it.
Yeah, the Hera pot is one of the new glitches. We'll see if we see some of the other ones in Ice Palace. We'll probably see the diver down glitches in Swamp Palace at some point this seed. So there are some new techs that have come out. A lot of really old, reliable ones like the Water Walk that we've seen already. As apathyduck does a really good job grabbing those flippers, and is now probably going to follow suit of Duke and grab the water checks. Maybe go and check that Zora area. Might have enough money with the flippers to find something else. Unfortunately, doesn't get the hook shot clip there. I mentioned earlier you can use the mirror to delete that block. You can also use the hook shot to clip through just like that. Good job on the second try. And you can kind of make this dam a little bit quicker by doing that as well.
Now, I am curious about something. apathyduck does have the hook shot, and he opted to leave Eastern Death Mountain for right now, opting to follow those flippers and head to South Shore and these water checks.
Ooh, you know what else we have? We have a fire source. We have a sword. We have flippers. We have a hook shot. We don't have a hammer. We don't have a glove. How are we getting to the Dark World? I would be rushing.
Go ahead.
Very interested to go and check that East Death Mountain, before I did these south checks, just because I'd be curious. I could see apathyduck's thought process of, well, what if there's a glove down in Mini Moldorm Cave, right? If there's a glove down there and then Dark World accesses mitts, you want to have those mitts on the mountain so that you can check Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave and all that as well. So I understand the kind of thought process of, well, it doesn't take me that much longer to flute back up to the mountain or save and quit back to the mountain cave and do the right side of Death Mountain. Then let's see if I can find a glove so that I can get mitts on the mountain and maybe be a little more efficient there.
Yeah, I don't mind that reasoning. I think that reasoning is completely valid. And I also really don't hate the follow the items plan. You followed the items up to Hera. You didn't get anything from Hera specifically, but you got the flippers from Spec Rock. So running down here to do water checks doesn't feel like a wrong play in my mind. Yeah, you are giving yourself another mountain climb, but at the end of the day, you're also making that gamble of what could I find down here in the flippers.
You can see apathyduck slashing away the grass to try to find one more rupee. There it is. That's that 500. So we are going to see apathyduck head over to that Zora area.
Yeah, if he wasn't so close, what he could have done... Nope, never mind. He doesn't have a glove. So never mind what I was going to say. If you had a glove, he could have picked up that rock, and there are rupees under the pot there. But he doesn't have a glove, so not going to work.
Duke taking a fall to, a really gross second fall to Trolldorm there. Apathyduck setting up the water walk. Unfortunately, if you have flippers, if you stand on shallow water, it removes that water walk and you just go back to using the flippers. So a little bit of, forgetting how the glitch works there, but I think a lot of people have made that mistake because it's not one that comes up a lot. So we're seeing DukeFireBird on Moldorm for the third try here now, as we're going to get a look at what is in the Zora area, and I think I saw gloves.
I think I saw a glove too. So this could be a really great play, grabbing those gloves and then heading back up the mountain, potentially mitts up there and a moon pearl, and you go straight into Dark Death Mountain.
This is exactly what Apathy was hoping to get out of this play, is gloves. Because if you do find those mitts up on the mountain, now you do get added execute or clearability of the mountain, and it's a little bit more efficient that way. Are we going to see the basement of Hera?
I was not counting the items to see if there was anything here. So if Duke is heading down here, I'm going to assume that there's an item in here still. So this is a gamble that not everybody really likes to make because Hera Basement is a slow check, but it's so early that, there very well could be something here.
I kind of go back to that thought process of early on, Hera seemed to be calling, so I could see the thought process of the game wants me to find something in Hera, so that's what I'm going to go look for. A little less feeling that way because of the flippers. That mirror that you did find early did get you the flippers, so makes me feel like Hera maybe isn't as valuable of a choice here, but you know, it's rando, and anything could happen, and we're about to find out as we find that Moon Pearl in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, and with that Moon Pearl, we are only one piece of the puzzle away from our Dark World access, as Duke is rewarded with a Master Sword.
You know what? That's one of those that we'll have to see as the game goes on, but that could be worth it if swords are hard to come by in this seed. That could be definitely worth that time commitment. We get a bow.
It very well could be. That bow and that book, we're getting the Light World package here, really. You know, at this point, we can beat
everything in the Light World.
That's always got to feel nice too. You know, it's a little bit, you know, worrisome. Like, you have the mirror. I know a lot of runners would hope to be able to pair Palace of Darkness with Eastern if possible, but if you're on a hammer hunt or a glove hunt, or I should say mitts hunt, this could be really, I don't know. I just think this is going to be fun to see here.
Yeah, so we see on the floating island 10 arrows, so nobody's going back for those. We're going to see Spiral Cave, and if that's not it, we do have Desert and Eastern, but again, we now have knowledge of a Master Sword, and we have a lamp. So until we find a hammer or another glove, Dark World access with that Moon Pearl is Aga Tower. You know, you can use the flippers and the hookshot to traverse a lot of the Dark World without the hammer or the Titan's mitts. So we will have to see what's in these dungeons here, as I'm sure both runners are going to full clear the crystal dungeons before they make an Aga play. But interesting to kind of keep an eye on and think about that, you know, maybe as much as actual runners hate it, chat and commentary, we love Aga plays in pet games.
For sure. If we could get a nice Aga Ped seed, even though, you know, the 3 pendants are a little bit cumbersome in their requirements, you know, it would be lovely to still manage a Ped seed.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything still that could be on Ped. I'm just trying to cause chaos. I think the only thing that could have been there was a bow, maybe. I think at this point, there's not really any items that could be locked on pedestal that wouldn't just be a quality of life improvement. And let me tell you, if we do have to go to Aga for Dark World, and you know, I'm sure that apathyduck and Duke are both hoping for that not to be the case. If we don't find a cape, as we find both the items in Desert Palace already, if we don't find a cape in Eastern, I don't think there's anywhere else really to check for for anything else. So Apathy would have to go get that Master Sword from Hera Basement.
Yeah, that's true. Unless there's, like you said, unless there's something over here that, that Duke is going to find here fairly soon as he's heading to Eastern before Desert. You're right. apathyduck will be forced into that Hera Basement, which always feels gross, you know, as a last location place.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're down to Agina's Cave and Eastern Palace in terms of items that we haven't seen yet.
With that Master Sword, I'm not certain if anybody made it back over to Ether Tablet to be able to get that, but DukeFireBird would be able to get Ether Tablet.
Yeah, that would be interesting as well, because if apathyduck does have to get that Master Sword, clearly going to mirror out of Hera and check that. So far, it's an interesting seed. You know, you don't usually see this where we have so many items. We have Hookshot, we have Mirror, we have Red Cane still, which is still in the back of my mind of why do we have Red Cane this seed? Yeah, we're just going to have to see as we make our way through Eastern here and head off to a nice Landmo fight with Fighter Sword and not much else.
You know, just reading the items here too, it makes me wonder if we're reading the items and mitts pop up here anytime soon, and any kind of medallion, it could be the seed saying, hey, go to Mire, or it could just be like, hey, here's a cane, we're just really going to troll you this seed.
Right. Yeah, it's always a tough gamble to make, but I'm interested to see where the seed takes us, because I feel like that cane was given to us for a reason, and you know, we don't really need that many more items other than like Dark World access. I think we need hammer, glove, fire rod, and I mean that might be it.
Yeah, we're not far away at this point just because of how everything is laid out. apathyduck taking down Landmo using some bow strats on the 3 caterpillars, heading over to Agina's cave. So we'll see if the, hermit over here has anything fun.
Ooh, the better boomerang, as we find $50 in the back of Eastern. We are not finding very many items.
No, at this point, I think all we have left is Armos and Ether Tablet.
Yeah, we're going to see apathyduck clearly, I think, run over to Eastern Palace next. No reason to jump up and go do Tower of Hera again. But we'll have to see. I mean, the item on Armos here is a big one. And the question, I think, would be if you're in DukeFireBird shoes, you have so much in the Dark World that you can do if you just go and beat Aga. Are you going to go and check that Ether Tablet?
I do not think DukeFireBird has made his way through all of the water checks. At least I do not believe he has his glove picked up from Zora Ledge as of yet. But, I mean, if you don't find anything here, 100% I think you do Ether Tablet, hoping that it's a hammer or mitts instead of having to do Aga.
Yeah, it all depends. I mean, with the knowledge we know, we could say, oh, it would be a good play maybe to do Aga and loop in both Catfish and those Zora checks together because you have the mirror already and you could do that. But, each runner doesn't have all the information that we have. They don't know. DukeFireBird doesn't know that the gloves are on Zora Ledge.
No, he does not. And I wouldn't be shocked to see him decide, you know what, whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and do Aga, as we find nothing with Armos. So, Ether Tablet?
Oh my goodness. Well, we are going to see Duke do Desert first, clearly. Duke is not going to rush Aga without beating all the crystal dungeons. Ooh, we actually might see he is going to check the Zora area now.
Now, I can't recall if either of our runner has made their way over to Hobo yet either, actually.
I believe DukeFireBird did Hobo with his water walk the first time, and now is flooting back to do the rest of the water checks.
Got it. So then, yeah, we really are just left at Ether Tablet or Aga.
Yeah, so both runners have pretty much the same items at this point. Duke does have that Moon Pearl, is going to grab the gloves here. And yeah, your choice is, do you want to go to Aga or do you want to go to Ether Tablet?
Yeah, neither are really great decisions to make. Do you give yourself another climb up the mountain and dealing with cabbages along the way? Do you go through a dungeon that takes a few minutes and has a lot of potential time loss with blue ball RNG? It's really just their preference at this point. I
think we're seeing Duck. Did Duck skip Eastern Palace Big Key Chest? I mean, it only had 50 rupees in it, but that is an item that will be weighing on the mind of apathyduck. There's, in a seed like this, it's kind of risky because those leftover locations where there's a single item when you're hunting for that one thing to get you to Dark World is kind of risky play.
Yeah, that's going to be weighing in the back of his mind, and who knows if he decides to immediately go back in or just wait and hope and pray it's not there, which we know it's not, but in his mind he's going to be potentially stressing about that.
Yeah, so up to this point, the only items that... I mean, I'm trying to think. We could find a shovel on Ether Tablet. We could find a mushroom. If the answer is to Dark World is not Aga, you would have to have it be presented through Ether Tablet in some way. So if Ether Tablet isn't gloves or hammer or some sort of fetch quest, this is an Aga seed where we will not be able to get to the Dark World until we beat Castle Tower.
Yeah, I think the biggest sign at this point of, hey, you goofed, you should have done Aga, would be Cape on Ether Tablet.
Yeah, that would definitely be something. So we do see that apathyduck does finish the 3 crystal dungeons first. Heading over now to Hobo, I would assume?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe whenever he did his water walk earlier, he did skip Hobo at the time. So he's going to go ahead and get this check in. For apathyduck, I believe all he has left at this point is that Eastern Palace Big Key Chest and Hera Basement, both of which are kind of awful to have to go back for. But if he does go up to Hera Basement, he does get his Master Sword, and he'll be able to check Ether Tablet along the way. You know, getting this heart from Hobo, that's what I expect we'll see him do.
Yeah, thinking about what to do next there for a second. We'll have to see where apathyduck decides to go. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to just kind of look and see. No, it does look like Apathy is going to go do that Eastern Palace Big Key Chest first. So at this point, the big question is apathyduck is definitely checking Ether Tablet at this point, because we know that he has to go back up there to get at least the Master Sword to check that Ether Tablet. The question is the Master Sword locking Ether Tablet, or is the Master Sword locking Aga?
You know, I mean, it could still, in a weird way, still be both, because if there is a cape on Ether Tablet, in a weird way, it is still both, but,
Yeah, and to answer comment in chat, the hints have been turned off for many of the races now. It's, hints were fun a little while ago, but pretty much any more of the standard races have them turned off unless it's, for fun or for, both runners agree to it, or, a certain league that agrees to that. So you won't see the runners checking those little hint tablets because they've all been replaced with funny little one-liners.
all right, as Firebird is making his Landmo play, apathyduck is making his way back through the dark rooms of Eastern Palace, looking for that last item. We know it's just 50 rupees, and he'll be heading up to the mountain shortly. We're going to get some reconvergence here of our runners back up towards the mountain.
Yeah, I would think at this point, you're so close. It's hard for me not to say, let's go check Ether Tablet real quick. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's just a quick run up the mountain. For Duke's had the whole kind of back of desert here to ponder his options of, okay, am I going to go Aga, or am I going to go to the mountain? And we're about to see if he flutes to 1 or if he flutes to 4.
Well, he does have to check Agina first, which, again, is nothing, but we do see apathyduck heading back up the mountain. He is going to... Ooh, he has the hook shot out, but I'm hoping it's just for hook speed. Yeah. So he's going to hopefully check Ether Tablet, so we'll at least have that information before he goes into Hera Basement. And we'll, have something.
Duke opting to run out of Agina here. Now we're going to see DukeFireBird flute to either 1 or 4. That I completely forgot about that blue boomerang. I apologize. And yeah, we're going to get a reading of that tablet. And it's an Agaseed.
Yep, that's that.
I do like this play by Duke, though. Like, if you beat all of Aga and then it turns out it was Ether the whole time, it is going to feel bad. It's a time commitment, but it's not the worst time commitment out there. You were given the Master Sword, so it's not completely unrealistic to think, like, hey, maybe the book, there wasn't anything in Desert progression-wise, maybe the book wants me to go to the tablet. So that could still be the case. You could still have to go to Bombo's tablet, which, if we don't find a hammer before then, is really, really unpleasant. But, yeah, we're going to have to see our runners do Aga.
And chat will be so happy because we love Aga seeds.
Yeah, Aga seed, and you have the mirror already, which means we'll have to see how many times our runners save and quit and, apathy?
I'm not certain if he remembers that there was an item in the basement or not.
I wonder if apathy is thinking maybe skipped an item in the escape sequence?
Yeah, this is, when you're going and when you have pressure from, a previous race that you were watching your teammate play, and then you've got, just the pressure of, hey, it's kind of an important race going on. Sometimes our brains can just bork on us, I feel like. And I think that's what may be happening here. So yeah, it does look like apathyduck is checking to see if there's things that he missed. He did Harapot, but maybe seeing the open locked door in Hera is what made him think, oh, I already did the basement. We know it's not the case. We know that Master Sword is in the basement, and that's his progression into Aga. So this is really unfortunate at this point. Hopefully he'll realize quickly that Hera basement is indeed the play, as DukeFireBird is making his way up through Aga Tower. And chat, I'm curious, how many blue balls do you think Aga is going to have for us today?
I'm going to throw in a guess of 2, so that it's a nice 2 cycle.
That is so kind of you, sir.
As Duke kind of getting bullied by those red spear guards. Does have a heart and a half. I do believe maybe Duke didn't pick up that fairy in a bottle on Desert Ledge, so I'm not sure what's in Duke's bottle right now.
I do know that on at least one bottle he emptied for a blue goo from the waterfall fairy.
His apathyduck. Yeah,
it's really unfortunate.
It's interesting that apathy went into Hera. I wonder if he got the compass out of that big chest and thought maybe it was a shield or an item or something. And yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. Like, after you do the big chest, you could still press start. You'll see that you have all the items, but yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, when a mismark or something like that happens, and I'm not certain, what kind of tracker apathyduck chooses to use, but when a mismark happens, it's really unfortunate. Because you end up clearing the entire world again, it feels like, trying to find that one item. P.S. I have not been counting blue balls. I really hope somebody in chat is paying attention, because I have missed it.
The chat does have your back. 5 so far. Oof, and there's a 6th. So we wait for Apathy Duck. I think eventually Apathy is going to remember that, you know, it's that Hera play. It does seem like Apathy is going back to dungeons. Gonna check the right side. You know, it is unfortunate because we saw Apathy go back to Hera, get that big chest, and just because Apathy already went back to Hera once, it might just be one of those things that's the last place that Apathy is going to check.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Like, we know that's where he needs to go. We know that the basement is the play. It's just how long does it take Apathy Duck to get back there?
Oh, interesting. DukeFireBird opting to go straight to Pod over looping around the world and checking out Thieves Town and things like that.
I mean, you have the bow. You can full clear everything with the exception of Helmasaur. I don't hate this. Gambling that the hammer is somewhere in here. You know, it's a decent gamble. When you have so much of the Dark World open, though, with that mirror and with that hook shot, it's not my favorite play, but I understand it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, you could get value here, too. If you find the Fire Rod in here, then all you have to do is, you know, go and beat, or you're then able to go and beat Skull Woods. As we see Apathy Duck going back to the escape sequence again. Ooh, and just a rough situation to find the cape there. That's kind of a slap in the face for us as viewers.
Yeah, that would have been the very clear, hey, Aga, let's go. Click, click. But unfortunately, it's not going to help Duck at all right now. Now, with that cape being in the front of Pod there, that does mean that we are bow locked, so we are seeing Duke make use of that bow, heading up to the bow lock side where he will get at least one small key, if not potentially another one from the arena ledge.
Yeah, for those of you just tuning in, Apathy Duck, unfortunately, not remembering that he didn't check Hera Basement, which is where the Master Sword was to get you access into Aga Tower. So Apathy Duck now going back and checking. Chess did go back to Hera, saw that the basement door was open, which we think is making Apathy think that they already completed Hera. Unfortunately, we know that that's where the Master Sword is, so at this point, DukeFireBird does have a pretty significant lead because of that unfortunate mistrack.
Yeah, we just have to hope that, you know, after clearing Eastern, he goes back up to Hera, hopefully one more time to go and check the basement. We know that's the play. We know it's a Master Sword and it leads to Aga. It's, man, it's, you hate to see it.
All right, we get a look into the back of Pod here, so we're going to have to check out and see what maybe, if there is anything in Pod, you know, what is that value going to be? As we see a nice little trick here called Hammer Yump. Or an attempt at it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Duke was a little bit too far to the left on the setup there. You do not have to be that close to the edge. It's the initial, you know, kind of vertical placement of the bomb and then where you move in relation to the bomb afterwards. Yeah, and unfortunately, having trouble with the setup, so opting to just blow up the wall and keep going.
I think that's a valid point. After you've done, oh, an Apathy Duck is fluting away from Spec Rock. Oh no. But back to Hammer Yump, or really any glitch. After you try it a couple times, it's you know, you've wasted the time on it. Don't let it get into your head too much. Just move on and do it the way the game intended.
Yeah, and who knows, after checking the Dark U and Harmless Hellway here, he may attempt it again from the top or bottom, or he may just say, you know what, we'll just go through it normally, we'll kill some Kadongos along the way, and we have the mirror, so we'll be able to get back pretty easy. Getting a nice little clutch heal from that piece of heart. So far, though, not finding really any progression in here. We found the cape, but that's, unless there's something on Bumper Ledge, that's not super big of a find.
Yeah, and it's not even bow locked. That's another weird thing, is the seed gave you the bow pretty early. Ooh, a tempered sword. That's nice to find.
It is indeed. Now Duke is going to be piecing out of the Dark World. Something he could opt to do now that he's defeated Aga and has the mirror, he could opt to save and quit and just be placed back up at the pyramid. It would save a little bit of time, but he's opting to just go ahead and run back instead. Totally a fine choice as well. And I'll be curious to see if he decides to go immediately to West Dark World, or since he's already done Zora area, check Catfish before he does so.
Yeah, I don't know if this is better than saving and quitting with the mirror, because once you beat Aga, you do get put back on top of that pyramid. Again, not a scenario that you witness a lot in randomizer seeds. You don't do Aga most of the seeds that you play, so those little things maybe you forget about. Saving and quitting, and then using hook speed to get down the pyramid rather than running all the way back to that pod maze, as doing a little bit of parkour. If you dash into that enemy right there in this area, it can kind of nudge you into that wall there, so you have to jump back into the normal field of play, as we would say.
So to answer a question in chat, Hera Basement had a Master Sword, which led to Aga, and apathyduck opened the door while Hera potting up, but did not get the sword in the basement. And DukeFireBird just gets to, see his reflection, see how good he looks, getting that mirror shield off of the Catfish.
Yeah, so we're now going to see Duke make his way over to the the left side of the Dark World here. Apathy?
Well?
apathyduck pulling off some overworld glitches for your viewing experience. I
think
if you
go ahead.
I didn't know this was the overworld glitches week of the ALTTPR league, but we are going to get some viewing there of some overworld glitches from apathyduck, as does look like apathyduck is going to call this one based off of these kind of tricks that we're seeing.
Yeah, apathyduck did go ahead and put in a forfeit. Could not figure out what he was missing. But you know what? We definitely enjoy the swag strats, right?
Oh yeah, you're gonna get if you do not watch any overworld glitches, you're probably gonna get to see some fun stuff here from Apathy. As Apathy is gonna confuse any new viewers that come in with Turtle Rock access without that hammer or mitts or any medallions.
Who needs anything for Turtle Rock when overworld glitches are your friend? I do believe, though, that by league rules, even though apathyduck has forfeit, DukeFireBird does have to still finish the seed to be able to claim a victory. So while we get to see ridiculous swag strats on Duck's side, Duke is going to be continuing the seed as normal and legal.
Well, here's the thing. As Duck throws the Cane of Samaria a little too far. Here's the thing is, apathyduck might find us, a fire rod or something interesting that Duke is going to have to find and going to have to get there, the legal way in the rule set. So we might actually see something interesting out of this TR play as apathyduck. You walk into those laser beams from that door. They do not like you.
Yeah, we're gonna get some. We may potentially hit no mode with a forfeit runner, and I'm totally okay with this.
Yeah, that's 100%. I mean, that's late night viewing. The late night viewing experience that people are looking for is apathy is gonna attempt to hover the big key chest here
for no reason with the cane and the hook shot, just for swag.
Yep, and without the big key.
To answer your question in chat, based on what I was seeing in the race term room, Duke is aware that Duck did forfeit, but he is also aware that he needs to finish the seed. And I'll be honest, I know this is bad. I should be paying attention to the runner who is still finding things, but I'm just really enjoying the nonsense on the left side of the screen.
Oh, well, yeah, we do see $120 in chess game as apathyduck is fighting, at low health, a pokey with a fighter sword.
Yeah, never very fun, but he does manage to get that small key, and we'll be moving on as Duke is legally in Thieves Town. If anything, Duck is just really going to make this a fun VOD to be able to rewatch later.
For those of you who are curious, I'm talking about how DukeFireBird does have to finish the seed. If both racers were to throw in a DNF, I do believe both teams still get 1 point. Leoria, is that true? For a tie?
I will be completely honest, I'm not 100% certain, but that sounds right to me.
I could be incorrect in that, but I thought I had read that somewhere. But regardless, I don't think we're going to see that. There's, Duke has the whole world open. It's just a matter now of apathyduck putting on a show for everyone here until Duke does finish up this seed. So go ahead and keep an eye on both of these streams. And while you're at it, make sure you give both runners a follow. Myself, Leoria, commentating here. We've got Duodeca on tracking. We've got the whole speed gaming team that for putting this together, the ALTTPR league team for putting all of this together. So go ahead and say thank you to all the runners, thank you to all the people. Give them a follow on Twitch at the links in chat. What are we seeing now? Ooh, a glitch. We're gonna see a quadrant glitch.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Maybe not? I thought that's what we were setting up here.
I know absolutely nothing about overworld glitches, so I have no idea what's happening at this point, or major glitches in general other than the legal ones.
I think what apathyduck is trying to do is we see Duke make his way over into the basement of Thieves Town here. I think what apathyduck is trying to do is get it to where it kind of confuses the game as to which kind of super screen you're on. And when you enter that door, it'll wrap you through into a completely different area of the game. I think that's what's trying to be done here. But then again, I'm not a huge overworld glitches, kind of knowledge person. As unfortunately, we do see the small key in Thieves Town. So that does mean that maybe there's something in that big chest.
Yeah, again, I have been a little bit on the distracted side and have not been paying attention for map and compass on Duke's side. So I'm not certain if there is an item or if it's just a map or compass, but well, nope, he has. Yeah, there it is. It's an item.
Nice, very nice blind fight there. There is a script to that fight. If you hit blind at certain spots, as we find at the powder, which with the mirror, that is a check that's in logic, as Duck is, who knows where Duck is in the game anymore.
I mean, Duck is in Turtle Rock, but, you know, who knows where he's trying to go from there. You know, the good news with that powder, though, is with the mirror, we can go ahead and check Magic Bat here. You know, you do end up losing your portal in the process since we are missing a hammer. And by hopping down now, unless we find the mitts here at the dig game, we're not going to be heading back to anything there. We don't have the mitts anyway, so never mind. I'm just going to ignore the fact that I've been talking about things that are not correct.
No, so I think there's no reason to mirror there, because your only access to this area of the Dark World right now is to go through that portal at Hyrule Castle and then hookshot and go all the way around. Even with the boots, that's a slow way to get back, so that is not worth it at this point to check that. You're much more likely that you're going to find the hammer and that you'll be able to use that hammer to check powder at a later date. So I think that this is a call that most people would make here, is to bail on powder for now, bail on Magic Bat, and come back when you have hammer or when it's your only option.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, another point here is, you know, even though we don't have the hammer, we can check that first bombable chest of Swamp. Obviously, there are plenty of other things we could do on the way there, like perhaps Hype Cave actually being hype for once.
I mean, there has to be progression somewhere, right?
Maybe it's in Turtle Rock.
Well, as we are seeing Apathy, what appears to be clipping into the fall down room in Moldorm 2 from GT. So, you know what? We're gonna come back to Apathy. We're gonna let Apathy kind of do what's going on, and we'll get an update when something exciting happens over there, as DukeFireBird is gonna go over to check that Hype Cave check.
Yeah, and after this, I would not be surprised if we see him head over real quickly to check Bombo's tablet as well, since we're in that area. Yeah, and unfortunately, Hype Cave not giving us anything.
You know, we do have the mirror and no hammer. We could check that first chest in Swamp. Let me just say, this is a gross seed.
Yeah, this is a thing. Every time, and I know it's unfounded, but every time Duke pauses for a second but trying to decide where he's going, I get a little anxious that there's going to be a second forfeit, even though there's still plenty to check, and I don't know why. It's completely unfounded.
Yeah, for those of you who are just tuning in, apathyduck has taken a forfeit, did forget to check that Hera basement, which had our Master Sword. Ooh, so close to getting what apathyduck is trying to get there. Is that the Fire Rod?
I believe so, yeah. So that opens Skullwoods for us.
Hooray. You know what that also opens with Aga being down? I think Pyramid Fairy.
That would be the case, and yeah.
Duke? Duke, unless Duke has a hammer that we weren't paying attention to. Does Duke have the hammer?
I don't think so, unless I really missed something.
If Duke found the hammer in Thieves Town, then, you know, Duke clearly just gonna do, Yeah, Duke, you don't have hammer. As Duke now going to go back to Flute to 4 and take that long loop around the world to get to Skull Woods. As, you know, we are providing you with just some high impact, high velocity, just fun times here tonight. So thanks everybody for sticking around and hanging out with us. As we are going to see DukeFireBird make his way over to Skull Woods. And then we'll probably, I mean, even still a pyramid check is, or a pyramid fairy check is still not very pleasant because you have to run all the way around the world again.
No, you don't. Well, yes, you do. Just kidding. I'm a liar. You do have to run all the, oh gosh, this is gross. This is gross.
This is not a nice seed.
Did either of our runner do... I don't even know at this point. Did they do King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge? I've been so distracted.
I believe that DukeFireBird did on the first loop over to the Thieves Town area.
I mean, that makes sense. More than anything, I think we were distraught with poor apathyduck's search for the sword. And then, you know, the fun major glitches afterwards. But yeah, you're absolutely right. After finishing Skull Woods, if he doesn't find anything progression-wise in here, he'll have to run all the way south again to get the big bomb. But on the bright side, he will be able to just mirror and go through the Aga portal and take a shortcut to the pyramid. As DukeFireBird is making his way towards Mothula, it's going to be a pretty cake of a fight with Fire Rod, Half Magic, and a Tempered Sword. Mothula is not going to be putting up much resistance. 4 quick slashes with the Tempered Sword, and Moth will be down. If he gets caught in the spikes, you can just spam that Fire Rod to get him out of there.
As it does look like Apathy's back from doing some research and back at the, major glitch, because it's not an overworld glitch because we're not in the overworld. So this is just a big old cheaty game. As Moth kind of being rude and hugging the spikes. If Moth does hit the spikes, it does cancel out the damage that you just did to the boss. So sometimes takes a little bit of extra hits. As we find a hammer, we are Mitts from Go Mode. That's a nice item to see.
Yeah, that's really, really lovely, because now after doing Skull Woods, we could do Pyramid Fairy straight into... Or we can do... Oh, hello. Hello, Agatu.
Yep, we have Rainbow Link fighting Agatu.
So at this point, I think apathyduck may very well see... well, no, he still has a fighter sword. I was thinking he may see the Triforce room first, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure on that one.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a legal Triforce room.
Oh no! I think we're all fully aware.
we're past that point.
I do like the rainbow link though. That's a nice little color palette there.
Yeah, for anybody who's just tuning in, apathyduck did forfeit as he lost track of what item not what item he was missing, but where said item was. His Master Sword was in Hera Basement. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him go to Hera Basement, get his Master Sword, and come back to defeat the pig.
We're gonna see DukeFireBird now go into Swamp here. So with Swamp, the only dungeon left is Pod. So we only need Mitts to get into GT.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah, so those Mitts could be... I mean, not on Dark Death Mountain. I guess that's a plus.
Now, as I'm watching back here, I think DukeFireBird decided to skip the bombable chest here in Swamp. You know, he's got to remember, he's not in go mode just yet. The mitts are still required to be able to get to Dark Death Mountain and thus get to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, we do have the ability to do Swamp into the Pyramid Fairy play. The nice thing is that all 3 of the Cane of Samaria required dungeons are also mitts locked, so we don't have to worry about the mitts being in Ice Palace or Misery Mire or Turtle Rock. They have to be in Swamp. They have to be Hammer Peg, Smith Chain. You know, they're gonna be somewhere. It's just a matter of where. You know, are they in the overworld? Are they in one of these dungeons? So it's just a waiting game now.
Man, when's the last time you saw a diver downless Swamp?
Oof. The 90s when I played this game as a kid? I'm just kidding, but in recent memory, not very often. There is a way to set up that diver down glitch with both the Cane of Samaria and bombs. It's become pretty standard in most runners' kind of repertoire of tricks that they know. As we see apathyduck trying to get into pod and gets it.
And we do know there is indeed a sword in here, so maybe, just maybe.
Oh my gosh. I think it's a little too late for that at this point, but... Well, are you saying that we're going to see apathyduck take on Ganon?
I think so. I think it would be hilarious. All right, DukeFireBird taking down Argus, getting his 6th crystal, and only needs to finish pod. And at this point, he's cleared pod, so all he has to do is go kill Helma. We are still in a mitts hunt, though, so I would not be surprised if we see DukeFireBird go ahead and do Pyramid Fairy into pod. Or go check things in Swamp again first.
Yeah, this is kind of what we were talking about, you know, if you're gonna come back for these items, I don't think that you skip them in the first place. If you're gonna skip these items, you know, we do know that Apathy has forfeited from the race, and, you know, we think that Duke knows that as well, but if you're gonna come back in for these items anyway, then I would recommend not skipping them in the first place, because it takes longer to come back to them after you've skipped them than to just do them the first time you're going through the dungeon.
Yeah, especially since on that left side, if we do see Duke having to go over that direction, on that left side, you do have to now go through the vanilla way to pick up the key, as Diver Down can't happen. You can't unlock the top door there.
Yeah, so we are going to see DukeFireBird completely clear out this dungeon. Interesting to see Duke not, you know, check those other chests, like that southern loop around chest there that we just saw the piece of heart in, not the first time through, because a lot of runners, you know, when they're going through the dungeon the first time, will check those things. Maybe Duke just trying to, you know, at this point, come up with the god route and just find the mitts and finish it up, but...
I mean, at this point, he could be just saying, you know, I'm going to try and skip things and just see how it would have gone. But, you know, he has essentially all the time in the world. You know, he can play fairly lackadaisically and not have to worry about much of anything.
So if we break it down and think about it, I said Smith Chain earlier. That can't happen because we don't have mitts. So trying to think kind of logically where could the mitts be in this seed of places we haven't checked. I don't know if we did check K45, so we've got Pyramid Fairy left, we've got Magic Bat left. We don't have a lot of options remaining, really.
No, we really don't. We have, like you said, those 2 checks, and we have, I believe, Helmasaur, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we got Fire Rod off Bombo's tablet.
That's true. That's exactly where we got it.
So at this point, there's just not that many places left to check for the mitts. Oh, lovely, the big key. That's what everybody likes to see when they come to the left side of Swamp, is a map and a big key.
You mean you don't like vanilla big keys?
I'm going to refrain from answering. No, I'm not a big fan of vanilla big keys. Although Swamp, it doesn't really matter, because you don't need the big key to beat this dungeon, right?
You only do if it hides a hook shot.
Or maybe this is where the mitts are. About to find out. No, just $20. So we are gonna see Duke probably do... I mean, his options are somewhat limited. You've got Pyramid Fairy still on the table. You've got Pod still on the table. I think at this point, you just are going to do Pyramid Fairy into Pod. And then after that, I think you've got Magic Bat, and you are running slim on options.
Yeah, I really truly can't think of anything else that he doesn't have, because he did Catfish, he did North Dark World, he did Ice Rock Cave super early on. You know, he can't do Dark Death Mountain without the mitts. I think this is all he has. But, you know, it's a really unfortunate time loss on DukeFireBird's side, having to go all the way back into Swamp like that for a big 20.
Yeah, that never feels good. I mean, it never feels good to go back into Swamp anyway. I think that if you know, me personally, if I'm skipping Swamp, that's just a gamble I'm living with until it's the last place left on the map.
Especially if it's a crystal. Anyway, so we've got Duke going in to get his Pyramid Fairy, and there's our mitts. We are in go mode at 1:11:11, essentially.
Yep, we have one more dungeon to beat, and then after we beat the boss of Palace of Darkness, I think there's a game?
Game time? I do
Almost.
enjoy games.
Ooh, yeah, 1:11:11. Chat liked that for a go mode time. That's very pleasing to the people who like to only hit one button on their keyboard. Yeah, so after this, stick around. We got a little game that we like to play as soon as this Helmasaur boss goes down, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it as it's coming up. But it has to do with a big key and a tower and some other things.
Yeah, and it will require that pair of mitts that we got literally only for said tower, as we don't have to touch any of the pendants that would normally require those mitts.
Yeah, actually, finding mitts last is kind of nice. It's kind of like finding mirror last. You know, when you find one of those items like mirror or hammer or mitts last that locks a bunch of items, quite often it feels, maybe not the hammer as much, but quite often it feels pretty nice because you're pretty much done at that point.
Yeah, this has got to feel pretty good. You know, I feel like on Duke's side, you know, he knows that apathyduck did forfeit, and I'm certain that, you know, when you win by a forfeit, it never feels super great. But I feel like, considering that he's still routed this pretty well, you know, there's been some little errors, like trying to go to, you know, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the name right now, but like just little things where like he tried to go to the Dark World without having a hammer. But overall, he's been very thorough with these checks, and he should feel good about that.
as we go into the turtle room here with sword beams, which, you know, is not the most fun thing to have. You actually don't want sword beams for that room because it makes killing those flipped over turtles a little bit more difficult. And yeah, we're coming up on this boss here, and gonna head up to GT after this and make our way up the tower.
This is true, and we neglected to point out the really stellar high five our runners got as Duke was making his way up here to Helma and ran through that front door.
As apathyduck was standing guard.
I mean, somebody's got to try and, you know, keep Helma a little bit safe. All right, CJ. I like games. I know you like games.
I do like games.
Would you like to explain this game?
Yes, we have a little game that we like to play where you pick a number between 1 and 22. And if that number matches with the number that the runner, DukeFireBird, finds his Ganon Tower Big Key in that numbered chest, you win internet points. Everybody loves internet points. So go ahead and get your numbers in. You have from now until the moment DukeFireBird walks into Ganon's tower. What number do you like?
I am a big fan of Bob's Chest, and I tend to like the Hope Room into full left routing. So that would make Bob's chest number 14. Although if it's ever taken, I usually go with 18 to add in Compass Room. How about you?
I'm going to go with chest number 3, but that 3 being Tile Room.
Ooh, so hoping for some living on a prayer strats.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some shenanigans here. I'm hoping that we see a little trickery, a little bit of, you know, you got the cape, you know you got this in the bag, maybe throw a little Tile Room in there.
I mean, I don't hate it. I think it'd be fun. All depends on if we get a small key. Nope, we don't need a small key to get to Tile Room. Just kidding. We just need the cane. That's what the cane has been for this whole time. CJ, you asked the question. That's the answer.
Oh my gosh. It's for Tile Room. It could be anywhere on the right side, but now I've got my hopes up for Tile Room.
Why did I not think Tile Room? That's what the cane has been for. Let's go, chat. We've got a Tile Room play hopefully happening. Come on, Duke. Feel our vibes and go to Tile Room. If you have not gotten your number in, get it in quickly as we are about to close up the game as soon as he enters the tower.
All right, we're going into Hope Room. We are going to see chests 1 and 2 here. Not 1. Not 2. Oh, no.
Aw, man. I still hope it's Tile Room.
I was trying to give all my energy. I had my hands up in the air and everything.
It wasn't even the torch for you to have your number 3. That's really unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
I'm so sorry for your loss, friend.
It's okay. I think I'll make it. I'll make those 17 points another day. But somebody is going to win those 17 internet points as we just passed number 3 and are making our way into DM Room. 4 chests? Not number 4.
Not 5 or 6, but we do get another small key.
Oh?
Ooh, a synced mirror. That was fun. Did Duke hear our pleas?
We're about to find out.
Is this the play?
I do think that Duke wants to go right side because of that red cane. I do think it's suspicious that we got it, and then we're given a seed where we didn't have to touch anything that required the cane. So I do kind of like this. We will see if the option to jump into Tile Room does happen.
Yeah, I'm certainly hoping that if he doesn't find it here in Compass Room, that he immediately just goes back for Tile Room.
As we're coming up on chest number 8 right now, 8 is bombs, 9 is a compass, 10 is some money, and 11 is more bombs.
All right, DukeFireBird, take out that mirror, go back to the right side, get that tile room. No, please.
As apathyduck is back from his coffee break, and we're seeing a little bit more tomfoolery over there. We're going to keep an eye on Duke here as we've got this game going on, but we are going to see some more fun stuff happening over on the left side of your screen there.
Yep, and as Duke is bonking his way around as opposed to whipping out that hook shot and, being able to do things, this will be chest number 12 here in Firebar Room.
Hey! It's chest number 12.
Well,
congratulations to Bunny of Legend for winning the guessing game. Scored 17 points. Congratulations. Enjoy your internet points, and hope you stick along with us for this climb.
Yeah, fancy internet points, and you also win a lifetime supply of rando seeds. Just find a local Sahasrabot near you. As DukeFireBird makes his way through both Mimics rooms, he is going to be jumping down, hitting this switch, picking up a skull, and I have no idea what's in his bottle at this point. I can't remember if he used his blue goo or not, but either way, he's got tempered. He's got to feel okay.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen him use the blue goo. He's got half magic. He's got a tempered sword. He's got the fire rod. This should be... Oh, and I just saw it there. That is some blue goo. So this is going to be a pretty straightforward climb you're going to see here. Now, the fun thing is if you shoot those skeletons with the fire rod, they do die instantly. Many of the other enemies in the game have a burning animation that you have to wait through, but not these ones. Makes going through those rooms really quick if you're able to pull off those quick fire rod shots.
Yeah, and being able to fire rod those Stalfos, it's much nicer than the alternative, as they do like to hop away while you are trying to slash at them, and it can make killing them a bit of a bother.
Very nice ice gauntlet room there. As we're going to see, not grabbing that fairy there. A little low on health. Has to be a little careful. Is going to try to get the fire rod shots. Unfortunately, missing some, so going to have to come back for a second round.
But getting the quick 2 cycle, so not too much of an issue. We'll be getting that cane out to be able to quickly kill these Wizrobes in the next 3 rooms total.
Yeah, some of the best feeling rooms of the game if you can pull this off correctly, of just quickly killing all those Wizrobes with the Cane of Samaria. Just feels so nice. It feels like... I don't know if they intended for you to use Cane of Samaria in these rooms, but it just works perfectly.
I mean, I like to imagine that the developers specifically made the Cane of Samaria for the Wizrobe rooms first, and then, Misery Mire was an afterthought.
I mean, I hope that's the case. I really do.
Like, hey, let's make this item that places blocks, but then it explodes in the cardinal directions. That's the cool part. Oh, I guess we should probably have it hold down a button or something.
As apathyduck does get that cape, so can do Aga Tower.
Will he do it? Oh, look, an ice rod.
Oh my goodness. Well, for everyone who is sticking around with us through this climb, as we see DukeFireBird gonna make his way to Moldorm 2. You're watching Speed Gaming. We are broadcasting the ALTTPR, or A Link to the Past Randomizer League. This is week 3, which is the casual boots week. Keep an eye on the schedule. There's going to be tons more of casual boots matches this week, and then there is no league next week, but then coming back, there's going to be pilot weeks, there's going to be mystery weeks, there's going to be all dungeons key sanity weeks, there's going to be a co-op Randomizer week. So a lot of these players, teams of 3, they face off. It's a lot of fun. Go ahead and make sure you check out everything about the league, and keep yourself informed, because there's a lot of fun going on.
Yeah, and if you like what you've been seeing from our runners tonight, the major glitch shenanigans on apathyduck's side and the fantastic legal playthrough on DukeFireBird's side, give them a follow. They've definitely been putting on a show for us, to say the absolute least. I'd also like to shout out the entire Speed Gaming Restring crew, Duo Deca, who has done kind of double duty with tracking tonight. He tracked the first match of Wu-Tang Clan versus the Immortals, where the Immortals took game 1, Julo Ninja taking down Solski, and opted to go ahead and track the doubleheader. Also, track, follow my co-com. CJ's a pretty cool dude, and things are silly and fun, and this has been super fun.
As you see, apathyduck, just travel across the all materials to get that $20 to buy 10 bombs. We are going to see Immortals, DukeFireBird for Immortals finish up here. We've got a silverless Ganon, so we'll see if Duke leaves to go find the silvers. Maybe I'm not sure what is going to happen here at the end. I would imagine we're just about to finish this, as Immortals will finish the week more likely than not 2-0 against Wu-Tang Clan. Again, this is match 2 out of the 2 this week, so just gotta finish off a pig. But Duke on 3 hearts.
Does get a nice setup for phase 2 though. Getting inside that circle, gets 3 spins off with the double hits. That does enough to push Ganon into phase 3, using that cape to get past the fire bats and get that first hit. So something to note, though, is with that blue mail, I believe that does put DukeFireBird in one-shot range, as the silver arrows are in Turtle Rock.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what the cane was for?
Uh-oh. Okay, Duke does still have that blue potion, so we're gonna be good there. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't see those silvers from apathyduck when apathyduck was doing the Turtle Rock adventures earlier tonight. As we just have to get 12 total spin slashes here on Ganon right as he's about to teleport to finish this one up. Duke is finishing that up right now. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a fun one. It's definitely not what I expected when we first started commentating for the night, but it's been a fun one.
Yeah, I was not. I agree. I was not expecting commentary of this race to go this way. I'm not upset. I think that this has been a ridiculously fun time, and while I hope it doesn't happen again necessarily in these kinds of circumstances, I do hope to be able to commentate again as DukeFireBird takes down the pig and only has a 1x3 bridge to manage to walk over and not fall down.
And with an official racetime.gg time of 1:27:43, DukeFireBird does win this match officially. Go ahead and get your GGs in chat. This has been a fun one. Congrats to the Immortals for their wins tonight. And, whew, that's all I can say. It is just, whew.
Yeah, that was something, I think is the way to say it. That was something.
All right, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna get an interview here, but we'll let you know. I mean, overall, if we just kind of recap the seed, that Master Sword in the basement of Hera clearly was the deciding factor. apathyduck skipping that became the reason that Apathy had to forfeit. But after that kind of gross and like long wait to get into Aga Tower, the rest of the seed was pretty straightforward. You go and get your Bombos tablet that gets you your Fire Rod, sends you right over to, get your hammer at Moth, and then you go right to Pyramid Fairy, get your mitts, go right into Pod, and basically beat the game. I mean, even with that Aga play, it still lets you beat 3 crystals in the light world before that. So overall, I mean, the seed seemed kind of gross just because we didn't have mitts or hammer. But the nice thing is that didn't require us to go into Turtle Rock or Ice Palace or Misery Mire.
No, that's absolutely true. If we're gonna really look at it too, the grossest part of the seed was having to go all the way down to Bombos tablet to be able to get your Fire Rod for Mothula, and then having to make your way all the way back around because you can't go west because you have no mitts, having to go all the way back around to Skull Woods to get your hammer, and then complete Swamp, go get your mitts from Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not the nicest or a jet seed by any means, but with how ugly it was starting off, it definitely was nice to not have any requirement to come into those later mitts locked dungeons, as we are joined by DukeFireBird. GG's.
GG.
So, what are your overall just kind of thoughts on this seed?
Crazy. Honestly, at the start, I was thinking like, okay, I'm going to be definitely doing Aga at some point. I was like, the moment I get the cape, I'm going to go do Aga. Never got the cape, and I'm like, okay. So I got down to the final checks, and I'm like, okay, so it's either cape or whatever requirement we need on the ether tablet. And then I'm like, huh. This throws me for a loop, because almost every single Aga required seed I've had, you've always had the cape and Master Sword. So it's like,
Yeah, we were talking about right after you did beat Aga Tower and you go into Palace of Darkness, of course, the first chest you open up was that cape. So that was kind of entertaining.
That actually made me laugh. I was like, really? Why is it there?
As we are also joined by apathyduck. Apathy, missing that sword in the basement of Hera, unfortunately, but GG's. We did enjoy the glitches kind of exhibition you put on.
I caught the tail end of that. He was giving a glitch exhibition. Nice.
Yeah, a little rusty on some of those.
It was so worth the wait, though.
I always forget the problem with the first. I had the problem is I was like one whole tile too high, and I always forget. I always think the little like divider or the change in direction thing is the middle of the room, and it's not. It's actually a little bit below that. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw, you went back into Hera and you went to the big chest, and the theory in chat was that since you opened that door with the small key when you were there, you just thought you had already done the basement. Is that what happened?
No, it's not that I hadn't thought I had done the basement. It's that I thought I had 2 items, because I have... Basically, I didn't have, in my inventory, I didn't have the key, and I didn't have the map or the compass. Well, I had the map that was on Moldorm. So because I never do this. The only reason I did the spin speed method is because I was on 1 heart, so I had to accidentally open the door, and then I just lost track. I mean, I wouldn't have done basement right then, first trip. I definitely would have done it like last location. But if I just gone right back there after Eastern and everything, it probably would have been okay.
Yeah, because we did see Duke also kind of last locate Ether Tablet before committing to Aga Tower. So you guys both did clear everything possible before that Aga Tower play was made on Duke's end. So you guys were both there at about the same time, and it's unfortunate. Sometimes things like that just happen. So regardless, very, very entertaining to watch afterwards. We were trying to figure out what you were trying to do, and then I personally really enjoyed the Rainbow Link sprite on the Aga 2 fight. So yeah, that was fun.
And then I forgot I had hammer I didn't have hammer for the statue drag for Helma. That after I took the break because I went to go eat dinner, and then I came back and did statue drag. But if you
food
want
break.
I'll say if you want to see someone execute those glitches in a good way, you should all check out Glan's AGDQ run. Yeah. There's your plug, Glan. You owe me.
Yeah. Although I do know that if that forfeit didn't happen, I actually think you would have actually taken this down, Duck. I made so many mistakes. So I bet you the question on everyone's mind is, hey, why did you skip everything in Swamp?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask is, what was your mindset of that? Because you still needed the mitts.
I honestly thought I was in go mode. And then I get to the push block room, and I'm like, oh, I don't have them. Oops. Well, looks like I'm going back in.
Yeah, you did find those right after, fortunately, in that Pyramid Fairy check. But, we were talking a little bit. Did it weigh on your mind at all, the weirdness early on in the seed about how you got the red cane and then you didn't need it for any of the dungeons? Did that push you kind of to go back to that right side and check Compass Room and GT?
A little bit, yes, but I'm also kind of a pseudo dark magician player. I like going left, right. Hope room just in case it's there. Check DM room, and then go hard right up to the compass room. That's just my style, and with the way the keys were laying out, I was like, okay, I think it's that way. I kind of go, how am I feeling? Item layout of the seed and the key count when I get to that point. And it's just, everything was like, it's got to be that way. Why else would I have cane?
And see, we were thinking the same thing, that the cane potentially pushing you that way. And then it seems like from Ganon's hint that really, truly it was the cane pushing you to silver arrows.
Yeah, but then what would have been really funny is if the silvers were like on Trinex with the ice rod being an upper GT. So
yeah, this was definitely overall not too nasty of a seed, but it also was not exactly a nice seed by any stretch, considering what pendants you had and how nice it could have been. But overall, like you mentioned, there were some mistakes, but we still think that you routed this as like cleanly and thoroughly as you could have, considering where everything was laid out.
Yeah, I mean, the second half of that seed, the moment you hit Dark World, it was effectively linear, which at least was kind of the good thing. So
yeah, and we mentioned the grossest part just being, having to go all the way down to Bomba's tablet for that fire rod, and then wrap all the way back around to Schoolwoods.
And again, that was also my little derp. I was like, oh, hey, okay, mirror, flip the 3. Oh. Okay, go to 4.
Yeah, we will say at that point, we had thought maybe you found the hammer in Thieves Town because, apologies to you, but we were, both Leoria and I were kind of mesmerized a little bit by the glitches exhibition that was going on.
Hey, I'm going to forgive you because the glitches that can be done in this game are mesmerizing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, yeah. I'm even amazed. It's like... And we're still finding stuff. That's the kicker. We're still finding these weird glitches.
Yeah, I mean, I would be doing Diver Down and Icebreaker to show those off, but those are legal, so...
Yeah, I need to learn Diver Down. That's my problem.
Whatever I do right now is probably not going to show up on stream, but...
No, it's fine. I mean, I got things. I just got to like sit down and take the time to like really grill it in. I did that with Icebreaker, and I got that down, so... It's just going to take me a little bit more time with the Diver Down because there's the two rooms. So
yeah, I mean with Samari, it's literally one frame down and then hold up left, and then that's it. Like that's literally it.
Yeah, it's just I gotta get the time in to practice it. So
yeah, it won't take long.
Well, for both of yous, I won't want to say GG. I will let our viewers know next week for the league we do kind of have a bye week as. Speed Gaming Live is going on, and there's a ton of different things going on that week. But of the remaining weeks, is there a week that you're most looking forward to of the remaining, 4 weeks, different game modes every week, that you're excited about coming up?
I'm always a huge fan of any of the co-op weeks. So week 4 and week 7 coming up, the spoiler log pilot and the Randomizer co-op. Those I think are gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the pilot because I don't have to think during that week, which is obviously my downfall.
I don't think that that's the problem. I think that definitely
Really?
happens to everyone.
Don't think that's the problem.
I will toss it over to Leoria. Leoria, do you have any last questions, comments, concerns even about the rest of this tonight before we move along?
I mean, I'm concerned with the 3 crystal fast Ganon happening on apathyduck's side, but I mean that's just such a minor concern that I'm really not like that annoyed. I find it so entertaining.
To be fair,
I knew the hook push.
Yeah, to be fair, he did beat Aga too, so he did open up the Ganon drop down.
That's true. So it's not a fast Ganon. Forgive me. You are absolutely right. But I will say, GG to both of you again. Apathy, really unfortunate with what happened, but you put on a ridiculous show and it was so entertaining to watch and get distracted while commentating, and it was so fun. Duke, that was a really well-run race, especially since, knowing early on the situation, and knowing you can just kind of chill and let the race happen at that point.
Yeah.
Really well done, both you guys.
Yeah, and on that note, it is a sour feeling to like win in that fashion, but I mean, what can you do?
I mean, our team seems to do this once we just 1 week we throw both games. We did it last year too. Although I was on the outside looking in, I got to make fun of my teammates for that one. So this time I got.
Oh boy, Emo was the one. You guys might want to go hide. That's all I'm gonna say.
She threw one last year, so she's got no room to talk.
True, but still.
So now everybody on the team is even. It's all right in the world.
No. Solsky, it's Solsky's. Solsky has to sit one out for the next for season 4 for that one.
All right.
Fair enough.
All right. So the week that Solsky's not playing, let us know when that is, please.
That is that. All right. Well, to go ahead and wrap up, just one more time, give our runners apathyduck and DukeFireBird a follow. Both put on a really, really great show. Shout out again to our restream team. Duodeca again doing tracker double duty. My co-commentator CJ. This was ridiculous and I loved it, and I would love to do this again.
Yeah, this was a blast. Thanks to everyone for watching, and keep an eye on the schedule because there's tons of games coming your way. So yeah, just keep an eye out, and we will see you next time.
Have a great night, everyone.